All right. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday, April the 23rd. Come on in. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about kidney health, foods that are going to help with kidney health, kidney cleansing, all of that great stuff. We're on here. We're going to help some people with their overall health, but especially focus on kidney health. So come on in. Let me know you can hear me. Of course, always greatly appreciate when you guys do that. It looks like it's all good to go. Everything's set up. But again, like I said, if you can let me know in the comments. So as always, and what I was sort of explaining to the people who were in chat last time is, yes, we're going to be talking about kidney health, but it's very important. I want you guys to also make sure that you ask your own questions. All right, ask your own questions, especially when it comes to kidney health. Why? Because kidneys are vital organs for our overall health, as you probably know. All right, but just some of the things that they do, I mean, just looking at it really quickly, essential for and responsible for filtering out, we could just list like one or two, filtering out waste from the body. All right, so getting rid of the bad stuff. All right, releasing hormones, regulating blood pressure and fluids in the body. All right, so that's why we're going to talk a little bit about, and you're going to hear me say a lot about electrolytes. And remember, our two electrolytes are sodium and potassium. Potassium often remembered, sodium often forgotten, I like to say, when it comes to electrolytes. Joshua, great to see you in chat. Thank you so much for coming in. Good morning to you. Anyone else is in here, of course, say hi. Let me know where you're listening from. Always greatly appreciated. And again, I hope the stream rate is okay and everything's good. So thank you for the thumbs up, guys. 13 there. Appreciate you so much. So again, like I said, the whole point of the stream is, yes, I want to get into the foods. I want to jump right into it. I want to talk about why, just really quickly, kidneys are so important and kidney health is so important. And then I want to open it up to you guys. Ask your questions if there's anything. And it can be about kidneys or it can be about something else. All right. If it's, health related, fitness related, workout, anything. All right. Keep it fitness related, keep it workout related, diet related. We're all good. Todd, thank you so much. Grateful for you, Todd. Thank you for coming in, my friend. Good morning to you, Todd. So let's talk a little bit about, again, we just went over just some of, really quickly, just off, the top of my head, ones that some I have written down, but just off the top of my head, I mean, balancing of fluids in the body, all right? Super important. Obviously, regulating and releasing hormones, all right? Releasing and regulating hormones that have to do with blood pressure. We already know how much heart disease and how many people have high blood pressure, not only in the United States, but across the entire world. Also, again, we talked a little bit about the filtering out waste products, all right? Very important, guys. We need our kidneys functioning and working properly for optimal health. We can put it that way. We want proper kidney function. So if we are dealing with, whether it's acute or chronic disease, obviously you want to speak with your medical practitioner, but what are some of the foods that you're going to add to your diet? What are you going to want to stay away from? Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you guys are crushing the like button right now. We're at 21 likes. Thank you so much. Danica, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you so much, Danica. I appreciate you. Hello from Bulgaria. That's awesome. And thank you for this video. My pleasure, Danica. Thank you so much for listening all the way from Bulgaria. And I love hearing about that. I love hearing where you guys are listening from, and that's why. We have someone from, Joshua, Queens, New York. Been to New York many times, Joshua. Again, welcome, guys. So let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit, what some of the foods are. Again, this is an important one. When we're talking about cleansing and organs functioning optimally, why do I make these the topics of the stream? Well, we already listed why the kidneys are so important for our overall health and for our body. All right, it's just like heart health. It's just like mental health, things of that nature. If we look at individuals, I found United States numbers. It was a little harder for me to dig in and find European and Asian numbers, but I would assume, just like it always happens, I find the American numbers and it always correlates with the rest of the world. All right, so about 10%, almost right on the dot, 10% of Americans are dealing with chronic kidney disease, right? And I think it was something like 15%, just over 15%, are dealing with some sort of kidney disease, or the kidneys weren't functioning properly. So this is a big problem in our population. That's quite a percentage. I mean, when we're thinking heart disease, guys, that's 25%. A quarter of the entire world is dealing with heart disease right now. Charlene, thank you so much. Good morning. I'm from Jamaica. That's awesome, Charlene. Thank you for listening all the way from Jamaica. It's amazing. There's been actually quite a few individuals listening from Jamaica. So, Charlene, welcome. Appreciate having you here. Haven't been, but I would love to go sometime. So we know kidneys are super important, and we know that kidney disease is on the rise. All right, so what are some foods that are going to help to cleanse the kidneys, to help with the functioning of the kidneys? We already talked about how important that functioning is. Well, we're going to want to make sure we're properly hydrated. We're going to want to make sure that we're paying attention to the electrolytes, all right, sodium and potassium. All right, I always say, if your kidneys aren't functioning properly, all right, we already talked about how it's going to be helping to filter out waste. You need to make sure you have proper hydration so it can complete that process, guys, okay? If you're dehydrated, you're not allowing the kidneys to do their jobs, all right? They have to be able to have water to get that the byproduct, the unuseful stuff out of the body. Melina, sorry, just trying to catch up on the comments. It's amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Melina from Cyprus. That's awesome. Thank you for listening all the way from Cyprus. Thank you for this great video. My pleasure, Melina. And I apologize if I mispronounce any of the other names. Hi from London. Celia, thank you so much. London, England, I am guessing. All the way from London. So look at that. We have from Queens, from New York, Bulgaria, Jamaica, Cyprus. Amazing. I think that might be the first Cyprus, Melina. London, Marie, God bless you. Thank you very much. God bless you. So let's get into the foods now, guys. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys saying where you're listening from and saying hello. I really, really appreciate that. It really puts a smile on my face seeing where you guys are listening from and, getting the messages from you. So thank you again. So let's talk about, kidney disease affecting. And let's take a look at this, okay? Because I found one interesting article. All right, now this interesting it was from the National Kidney Foundation. So I'm pretty trustworthy source. I was mentioning how about 10% of Americans are dealing with some sort of kidney disease, acute or chronic. We know that it's in and about, all right, and according to the Kidney Foundation, in and about 10%, just like I was saying, of the world's population is dealing with kidney disease. It's a very common problem, a very common disease that is affecting millions, hundreds of millions of individuals all across the world, from Jamaica to Cyprus, and that's why these type of streams talk to all of you guys, all right, because these are worldwide problems. Sometimes people will ask for the American numbers. I'm from Canada, so they'll look for Canadian numbers, but this is why I say they correlate so well. When we're looking at obesity, heart disease, Alzheimer's, anything else really, really correlates around the whole world, guys. So 10%, think about 10% of the world's population. If we had 7 billion people, that's 700 billion people, guys, who are dealing with some sort of kidney disease or kidney disease related issue. 700 billion. And that's probably gone up because I think that's probably a 2018 number. 2018, 2019 pre-COVID number. If anything, the numbers don't usually go down. Unfortunately, what happens is the numbers go up. And we see that with obesity. We see that with heart disease. We can also now see that with kidney disease. Now let's talk about the foods, guys. Right? So I think you get the point. The kidneys are important. They have vital bodily functions. You get the point that there's hundreds of billions of individuals around the world who are dealing with kidney disease, acute or chronic. Usually it's chronic, all right? Keep that in mind. All right, so we want to make sure that we're talking about some things that are going to help us to stay away from it. Because if it's chronic, there's things that we can do, even if it's acute. All right, we always want to take a preventative measure if we can, if it's possible. I'm all about prevention. Okay, so just like with heart disease, you guys know, I keep bringing up heart disease because you guys know that's the big one for me. So many individuals that I work with, family members, friends, dealing with some sort of heart disease related issue. You probably know someone, you might be dealing with it yourself. But kidneys, just as important. We see that number climbing up and up and up every single year. It does not go down. So let's talk about the first one. The first one I would put on the list. All right, the first one I would put on the list would probably be, if I had to list one, if I had to choose only one, I think the most important one would probably be cranberries. All right, we want cranberries in our diet if we want to be making sure that we are detoxifying the kidneys. Cranberries are, when it comes to kidneys, they're a superfood, guys. I don't list them a lot in, berries of my favorite berries, those being blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, and raspberries, if you listen to the streams or you watch the channel. But when it comes to our kidneys, cranberries are an essential, and you can look at it as like a kidney cleansing superfood. So cranberries, and people will ask, and you might be thinking, well, is it raw cranberries? Can I have frozen cranberries, cranberry juice? If you're going to have them and you want to have kidney cleansing, I would go raw kidneys number one, and frozen cranberries, sorry. So raw cranberries number one, or frozen, each is fine, and juice is okay as well, as long as there is no sugar added or preservatives added. Usually it's going to be a little bit higher in sugar. Usually there's going to be a couple more ingredients in it. That's why I do tend to lead toward the raw side, because you know exactly what's in it. It's a whole food. You're not getting any of that extra stuff through the processing of making that juice. Cranberries, so raw cranberries or frozen, again, everyone always asks me, is it okay if I have frozen blueberries? Yes, it is. Is it okay if you have frozen cranberries? Absolutely. But I would lean towards those as opposed to the juice, but nothing wrong with the juice. Just make sure it's no sugar added. We can't have the sugar in there, guys. We need to avoid that. All right, so we're thinking, why, if we're going to make a top 5 list, why is cranberries going to be at the top? All right, well, one, right, this is pretty important to mention too, and not a lot of people will address this, all right, or talk about this. But if you have kidney issues, all right, you want to make sure that you're regulating. We talked about sodium and potassium, but you want to make sure you're regulating phosphorus as well. All right, and why is that? Because if you have kidney disease, all right, or your kidneys aren't functioning properly, it has a really hard time of getting rid of and filtering out phosphorus from the kidneys, which can cause damage and actually either one, make kidney disease worse or cause kidney disease. So I like it because it's one, low in phosphorus, all right, very low in phosphorus, so we don't have that extra phosphorus going in there. You can do cranberry juice, is good for kidney function. Yep, you can do cranberry juice, just make sure it doesn't have sugar in it or anything added. And you can also, put a little in there and then put some water in there. It's a nice drink. Melina, I drink natural cranberry juice. Very nice. And eat all the foods pictured. Very good. You must be one very, very healthy individual then. You know what? I try to eat most of these. Brussels sprouts have been off. I won't lie. They've been off the list for a little bit. Leslie from Germany. Welcome, Leslie. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I appreciate you. Excellent question. What a question from Leslie. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Dried cranberries. Okay. Now, should we be having... Okay, Danica as well. What about dried cranberries as tea? Okay, we have kind of two questions here, but let's address the dried cranberries question. I would stay completely away from dried cranberries. Any dried fruit, all right? And the reason why is when it goes through that drying process, all it is doing, all right, it's taking out nutrients, and you're just going to have a bunch of sugar. All right, so let me look up 100 grams And people, the reason why I like pointing this out is raisins, apricots, dates, all the same thing. All right. And when people hear about how much sugar is actually in those, it's going to be a little bit lower GI. But when people see the difference, it's quite shocking. So let's put 100 grams of cranberries. This is a great question. So glad that you brought it up. Calories. Okay. So if we have 100 grams of dried cranberries, all right, so 100 grams of dried cranberries here, Leslie, and anyone else, Danica as well, so dried cranberries. All right, you're getting 308 calories. All right, so 308 calories. Only 6 grams of fiber, not 100 grams. But here's the big thing. All right, where is all of those calories coming from? Well, there's no protein. There's hardly any fat. It's all carbohydrates, 82 grams of carbohydrates, which is fine. We don't hate carbohydrates here. But 65 grams of sugar. Let me say that again. Of that 308 calories, 65 grams of sugar. 65 times 4. You do the math. That's how many calories in there. If we make it easy, 120. So 240 at another. So of that 308 calories, 260 of them are sugar calories. And you just lost all of the nutritional aspects that are going to help you with cleansing the kidneys. And you're actually going to start causing damage to kidneys because of all that sugar. Sorry, I missed some comments here. Good morning to you, Michael. Just eat whole foods. You got it, buddy. Exactly. Lena, oh dear, I love dates. I know. That's the thing. Dates are okay if you, in everything in moderation, guys. Everything in moderation. I try to avoid sugar for my kidneys, but for normal people, just whole food is fine. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole discussion. I mean, whole food is always going to be a little bit better than, if you were drying. And that's why I'm glad Leslie asked the question. If you're going to choose one, have, whole cranberries, raw cranberries, frozen, doesn't matter. And when we dry them, the calories do matter because the calories of a whole cranberry or just a regular cranberry is going to be different. So 50 grams of just regular cranberries is going to be much different than the calories that make up 50 grams of dried cranberries. You're not going to have as much sugar. Okay? So the calories do matter. Right? I guess if you're talking about burning them, maybe you're talking about weight gain or weight loss. Trying to find okay, and here's the other thing. So we had a 308, and here's kind of what me and Michael are talking about. Here's the other thing, guys. So we just saw 100 grams of dried cranberries, 308 calories, 100 grams of just regular cranberries, all right, whole cranberries, natural cranberries, 46 calories, 4 grams of sugar. Okay, so that's why I like pointing this out here, and that's why it was a great question by Leslie, and that's why I wanted to address it, and I took a little bit extra time here. All right, but we see 100 grams of dried cranberries, 308 calories, 65 grams of sugar. 100 grams of regular cranberries, raw cranberries, only 46 calories, 4 grams of fiber, and 4 grams of sugar. So, of course, you know what my answer is going to be. Have the whole cranberry. Have just the regular cranberries. Try to stay away from dried fruit as best you can, guys. I hope that helps answer your question, Danica and Leslie. So thank you so much for asking. But I try to stay away from dried fruit as much as possible. Maybe it is a treat. What about dried cherries? Good for kidneys. I'd stay away from them, Joshua, as well. I rinse the dates to get rid of some of the sugar. Is that okay? All right, great question, Melina. All right, now, if you're going to rinse the dates to get rid of some of the sugar, unfortunately, most of that sugar is inside. I know it comes in, and a lot of people will say, well, I know it comes sort of in like that syrupy stuff. Yes, you will get rid of most of it. or not most of it. You'll get rid of the syrup. All right, but a lot of the sugar content is actually inside, and you're not going to be able to wash that away. Don't let me scare you away from dates. In particular, they're low GI. They have a lot of health benefits. I would just keep them in moderation. So don't let me scare you. I'm just kind of giving you the facts here of what the calories are, what the makeup is, what the macronutrients are, and what the micronutrients are of each. You make sure that it fits into your macronutrients. Another thing, dried cranberries versus cranberries. Again, no vitamin C in dried cranberries. Unbelievable. All right, and if you would take regular cranberries, I think just in 100-gram serving, you're getting like 15% of your daily value, 20% of your daily value, something like that. So we know the macronutrients are no good. You get tons of sugar. Then the nutrients, micronutrients, are no good. You get tons of phytonutrients that are important with cranberries. But rinsing will take away some, but it won't take as much as you think. But again, if you have it in moderation, Melina, that's fine. Just make sure it's in moderation. It's a lower GI. It's used in a lot of like baking, especially with vegans, vegetarians, people of that nature. Just don't go overboard. Just try not to go overboard, especially if your calories are something that are important to you. Good to know. I'm glad you're able to hear that, Leslie. So that was a great question. So can I use dried cranberries for nuts? Is okay? Sorry, Joshua, I wasn't quite sure of your question there. I apologize, my friend. But let's continue on with the cranberries. All right. So why are they number one? All right. We just went over why we want to stay away from dried cranberries. Have regular cranberries. All right. Beneficial for our kidneys, urinary tract as well, but kidneys is what we're talking about. All right. One, contain really, really potent phytonutrients, and one that you'll hear me talk about often. All right, it's very similar when I talk about blueberries and strawberries. What are some other foods? Blueberries and strawberries come to mind. There's one that I'm trying to figure out that's not blue. Strawberries is usually the one I go to. But anyway, you get phytonutrients called proanthocyanidins. Okay, so kind of a mouthful, but proanthocyanidins, all right, whereas blueberries would have anthocyanidins, all right, but with cranberries, all right, very powerful antioxidant called proanthocyanidins. And what do these do? They prevent bacteria from sticking to not only the urinary tract and bladder, but also to the kidneys. So again, that prevents infection and helps promote kidney healing, kidney functioning, all right, and overall kidney health. All right, so we love those proanthocyanidins in cranberries, and that's why they're not one of the best ones. I think number one. All right. We also see some really good studies. I mean, there's some when it comes, especially preventing bacteria. They can do so much damage to the digestive system, to our organs like our kidneys, these different bacterias. That's the great thing about cranberry juice. And that's why, it's so helpful in urinary tract infections and things of that nature. That's why people drink cranberry juice. But we see it's so helpful with preventing and even treating kidney disease. All right. And we see that in a study, one that I have here, chronic kidney disease as a risk factor for acute community-acquired infections in high-income countries, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. What that's really saying is, all right, it's looking at cranberries and how it can reduce the risk factor for chronic kidney disease. All right, so very interesting study. All right, very interesting food. Again, the sodium is low, potassium isn't too high, so you got your electrolytes there. Great for our kidneys. All right, and you also don't have a ton of phosphorus, because remember, if we have phosphorus, it's hard for damaged or injured kidneys to get rid of that excess phosphorus in the body. And again, if you guys have more questions like the dried cranberry question, please go ahead and ask, because that was a great question, and I hope you guys got the point of why I'm not a huge fan of dried fruit, and why I would go with if number one choice cannot be dried cranberries. It has to be whole, raw cranberries. People will say you can eat them dried or cooked or as a juice. If they're going to be number one on this list, I would like you to try to have them fresh. Juice is fine. Just make sure no sugar added, guys. Now let's go to the next one here. Great question. Thank you again, Leslie. Cranberries number one on the list. What do we go for number two? All right. Well, number two. All right. We want to make sure. All right. Cranberries are a great one. I think one of the best ones that you can have. All right. When it comes to anything specifically related to kidneys. I'm going to put another fruit out here. Cranberries would be number one. High antioxidant fruit is probably one of your biggest go-tos for cleansing the kidneys. High antioxidant fruit. So if you listen to this stream or if you've heard or seen any of my videos, what's a high antioxidant fruit, guys? It's a superfood. It's my one of my favorite foods. I have almost a cup a day. Just they're frozen, but raw blueberries. Blueberries being number two. Dark, antioxidant-rich superfoods or superfruits, whatever you want to call them, that are very nutrient-dense. All right, so blueberries would be number two on the list. Cranberries are great. If you're not a fan of cranberries, go with blueberries, guys. Blueberries are an amazing kidney cleanser. We talked about how cranberries have proanthocyanidins. Blueberries have anthocyanidins. All right, so two very, very great sources of antioxidants that are going to help to cleanse the kidneys and our bodies. Let's be honest, it's our kidneys and also our bodies. But when we cleanse the kidneys, remember, cranberries, blueberries, foods like this, that high antioxidant foods, in this case, two high antioxidant fruits, it's going to be able to help with the functioning of the kidneys. And that's what we want, the getting rid of waste, all right, allowing the kidneys to do their job. So number two is going to be blueberries, guys. One of my favorite superfoods. I think they're great because they can fit into basically any diet, even if you're on a keto diet. When I was on the keto diet, I was allowed, obviously, if you know anything about the keto diet, ketogenic diet, to get it to stay in ketosis, you need 50 grams, in and about 50 grams of carbs or lower. My carb was blueberries for the most part. And let me tell you, they basically tasted like sugar. If you're on a keto diet, you know what I'm talking about. But the blueberries were amazing. But that was my choice of carbohydrates. Tons of nutrients, lots of fiber, low in calories. So it would help me stay in that 50-gram window. Not sure if anyone's on a keto diet right now. I eat lots of frozen blueberries, also fresh ones sometimes. Melina, that's awesome. Sounds like you have an amazing diet, honestly. Everyone will always ask, should I have fresh or frozen blueberries? Frozen is just fine, guys. All right, frozen is just fine. Buy fresh, put them in the freezer, or just buy frozen. They'll last longer. I love blueberries. Is a winner source? Yes, exactly, Joshua. I saw you posted it up there before. I knew you were on the right track. But blueberries, definitely a winner source for kidney health. Amazing source. All right, one of my favorite foods. And thank you so much. I got to say, thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. 28 thumbs up. I didn't even see that. I can't even remember what it was at last time when I thanked you. I think it was 17. But 28 thumbs up. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Shout out to all the members of the channel as well. You know who you are. I see that you're in the chat, even though if you don't want to say hi, more than okay. And also thank you to those who have given super chats. I see you in the channel. Again, if you want to listen, that is fine, but I want to make sure I give a big shout out to you. Remember, those are the two ways you can support the channel, either by joining as a Fit Team member or through the super chat function. So big shout out to you guys, and also by liking the video like you guys are doing now. Thank you so much. So blueberries, great. Again, low in sodium, a little bit higher in potassium, but still low in potassium, right? But also low in phosphorus, right? Packed. Why is it one now? Why is it number 2 on my list? I remember this is just my list, right? From 10 plus years of researching food, working as a nutritionist day by day, working with clients, having my own business. Why would I put blueberries number 2 on my list? Well, blueberries, one of the best sources of antioxidants that you can have. And if you want to cleanse the kidneys, high antioxidant fruit is going to be one of your best friends. You want to make sure it's on there. That's why we have cranberries number 1. Now, also, we talked a little bit about anthocyanins. All right. Anthocyanins found in blueberries in very, very high amounts. You're going to find them in most foods that are like a deep blue, purplish color. Sort of like blueberries. I'm trying to think of another one. Like baked beets, maybe. Usually found in those types. That's what gives it its color. But the thing I love about blueberries, you have a ton of antioxidants. You have a ton of great anti-inflammatories, right, which is also important for kidney cleansing. Any inflammation in the body is only going to damage the body, so we want to have anti-inflammatories in there as well. But those anthocyanin antioxidants, and all the other antioxidants, by the way, guys, right, it's going to help protect against kidney disease, right? It's going to reduce bacteria in the kidneys. It's going to allow the kidneys to help flush out and regulate liquids, right? So very kidney friendly when it comes to, what foods we should have in our diet if we're trying to cleanse the kidneys and improve our kidney health. So I would say number 2, definitely blueberries, guys. Blueberries are just an amazing, amazing choice for your overall kidney health. All right. And again, just going back, don't let me scare you away from dates. Dates, like I said, tons of antioxidants in those. If you're having them in moderation, can actually be quite helpful for your kidneys as well. You just got to make sure what your macronutrients are. If you're a good weight right now and you have dates and you're staying at the same weight, then you should be just fine. And remember, the sugar in dates especially, a little bit different than apricots and raisins, and that's going to be a little bit more higher GI, but the sugar content in dates is a little bit lower GI. So you won't get that increase in insulin, of course, which we don't want. Glucose and insulin. If you've done keto, you know all about that. Okay, so we have cranberries, we have blueberries. The next one I would put on there, guys, is garlic. All right, love garlic as a kidney cleanser. All right, and a lot of people just don't have enough garlic in their diet. Now, if you've heard me talk about garlic before, one of my favorites, all right, because it has a natural compound, all right, and a rare compound called allicin, ALLICIN. All right, so it has allicin, very, very helpful, has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. So that's great for our kidneys. Boom, right off the bat, we have that natural compound. But we also, in garlic, have potent sulfur compounds, which is very, very important. All right. Why are sulfur compounds important, guys? Well, we don't get these from a lot of different foods. We get it from garlic. And what sulfur compounds, like in garlic, what they have is tremendous anti-inflammatory properties. All right. So think about it like this. When we talk about high antioxidant fruit, like with cranberries and blueberries, we could also replace that with, or put dash, so high antioxidant, but also high anti-inflammatory fruit. All right, so if they're high in antioxidants, you're going to be doing a great job of keeping inflammation under control, because we don't want chronic inflammation, guys. It leads to a number of different diseases. You name one, it probably can stem from inflammation. One of them being, of course, heart disease, which I mentioned. Another one, Alzheimer's, which we're really finding out. Another one, arthritis, osteoarthritis, tons of different things. All right, osteoporosis. It's really not something. One of my biggest things right now is having as many anti-inflammatory foods in my diet as possible. So green tea is in there. I'm drinking so much green tea right now. I should be selling it, honestly. I'm really enjoying my green tea right now, but it's just so high in catechins, so really potent flavonoid antioxidants. It's neither here nor there. The important part here that I want you guys to take away is If we're trying to cleanse the kidneys, yes, those antioxidants are important, but those antioxidants have that special feature of reducing inflammation in the body, and that's going to help you cleanse your kidneys. So it's amazing. Good to hear about dates and insulin. Absolutely, Melina. Again, moderation is key. Too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, but of course, always keep it in moderation and you're going to do just fine. But going back to garlic, of course, tremendous. Allicin, tremendous. You're not going to get that really from any other food. Can't think of another one off the top of my head. Also contains sulfur compounds, which have tremendous anti-inflammatory properties and is great. It's great for cleansing the kidneys. Now, another thing that we want is, you'll see sometimes garlic being promoted as a kidney cleanser because you can use it as a substitute for salt. But yeah, that's all fine and good, but that's not going to make it on the top 5 list for me. And the reason why is just don't put salt in or add some sort of spice, or just switch the food up. What's going to make it on the list here is that 1, it has allicin, 2, it has sulfur compounds, 3, anti-inflammatories and anti-inflammatory properties, and also that it's a good source of vitamin C, which we like, and that's the same thing with cranberries and blueberries. You'll see a trend here. Vitamin C, as you guys know, is an antioxidant in and of itself, water soluble. All right, so continue to have your vitamin C, guys. Water soluble, very easy for the body to get rid of, but it's a good source of vitamin C and vitamin B6. All right. Also a little bit of manganese, which can help with kidneys, but focus on vitamin C and vitamin B6. Those are your 2 good ones for when it comes to our kidneys, guys. So that's why I really like garlic. You don't have to have a lot of it as well. 1 clove, half a clove, a quarter of a clove if you're just getting started with it. There's a video on the channel that has garlic and honey. Use raw organic honey if you can, but start having it that way. Chop it up really fine, add a little bit of honey, maybe like a teaspoon, and then just put it on a spoon and eat it real quick. It's the easiest way to have it. Chop it up, though. Chop it up. It helps get those sulfur compounds going. I also drink green tea. Melina, me and you are on the same page here. 2 cups a day. Yeah, you know what? I've been having about 2 cups of green tea a day as well. Sometimes, yesterday I think I had 3. If you're a little bit sensitive, not you, Melina, but if anyone's sensitive to caffeine or anything like that, just be careful because, yes, of course, there is going to be a little bit higher content in different green teas. If you're having loose leaf green teas, some can be quite high in caffeine content, but much lower than coffee. But I myself love green tea. Why? Has 3 amazing any teas. Your real tea, all right? A lot of people, will bring up tea like herbal teas and things like that, but I'm talking about quote unquote real tea. All right, there's really only 6 coming from the same plant. So green tea, your white tea, your black tea, yellow tea, those types of teas, it's just the oxidation process and which leaf you're picking. Those types of teas, like green tea, have 3 amazing compounds in it. And you can add this isn't in the top 5, but you can add this to kidney cleansing for sure. It has L-theanine, all right? So an amazing amino acid, L-theanine, all right? Or L-theanine. Some people pronounce it different ways. Catechins. All right, catechins, which are amazing antioxidants and are going to have tremendous cleansing abilities for your kidneys. And then also caffeine. All of those kind of mixed together. All right, the caffeine is blunted, I believe, by the L-theanine. So you don't get that jittery effect. You'll probably know what I'm talking about, Melina, if there's any other green tea drinkers, or tea drinkers for that matter, because, of course, black tea, white tea is going to have a little bit of caffeine as well. But the reason why you're not going to feel that caffeine as much is because it gets blunted by the L-theanine, that amino acid, and that gives you a nice calming effect as well. So here we are talking about green tea, but I think it's important to talk about because it has, amazing antioxidants, just like what the food I brought up, garlic, the other 2 foods that I had brought up, cranberries and blueberries. So you can throw green tea on here. It also has EGCG, all right, an amazing antioxidant, which has tremendous health benefits, not only for our kidneys, all right, but for our entire body. It's very anti-inflammatory. So I think the theme here, guys, is to take away, have foods that are high in antioxidants, have foods that are, potent with anti-inflammatory compounds, and then also make sure that you're regulating your electrolytes, sodium, potassium, and then be careful of phosphorus as well. But I'd love to hear it. Like I said, my dream would be to start like a green tea business, or a tea business, I should say. I'm not obsessed, but I love learning about different teas and the health benefits, like aged green tea and different types of teas. I find that fascinating stuff. Maybe the 5,000 health videos on this channel might give it away that I'm kind of into foods that are healthy for you. But thank you for the questions, guys. Sorry if I miss any. And, if there's anyone else who's listening in here and you haven't said hi yet or where you're listening from, I would love to hear it. Please say hi. Please let me know where you're listening from. We've had everyone from Bulgaria to Jamaica to New York to Germany. I'm sure I'm missing a few here. Sorry if I did. From London, I know. So please let me know where you're listening from, guys. I love hearing it. So garlic is a great one, guys. Garlic is an amazing one. Love, love, love garlic. Okay, so garlic would definitely be on my list. Now, let's go to a different one here. All right, this one's going to be a green. All right, so we had two fruits. We had garlic, and then now I want to give you the best green out there. All right, so it has to make the top 5. That's the thing, because there's good ones out there, trust me. Cauliflower is a good one. I think someone mentioned cauliflower in chat. Nothing wrong with cauliflower. It's one of the best. All right, but if you're going to go with one, here's the one that I would go with if you're going to have a cruciferous vegetable or a green. All right, and I want to take it away from like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, spinach, kale. You guys know all about that. You've heard me talk about that. You hear everyone talk about that type of stuff. All right, if you want to cleanse the kidneys, one of the best ones that I would promote, all right, myself, if you were my client and we were sitting down, we're talking about your kidney health, one of the ones that I would sort of tell you to maybe start thinking about, of course, I'm going to tell you to talk to your doctor first, but you might want to start thinking about cabbage. All right, cabbage, all right, of course, some people don't know this, but it does belong to the cruciferous vegetable family. And one, it's super low in calories, so people love that because a lot of the clients I work with also are trying to make body composition changes, so trying to lose weight or put on muscle, whatever it is. All right, lose fat, put on muscle. One of those. So cabbage is very nice. Like most cruciferous vegetables, it's going to be lower in calories. But the thing that I love about those types of vegetables is you get the 2 for 1. You get the low calories, but you get the high dense micronutrients. So low in calories, high in nutrients, and cabbage is super high in nutrients. It is a tremendous choice when it comes to getting in your daily recommended value of vitamins, minerals, and like fiber even. All right, so it's a really, really good choice, and it's great for kidney cleansing. Now, what makes it so great for kidneys? Well, I'd start off with powerful plant compounds, antioxidants. Again, like I said, you guys are going to see a trend here. All right, the trend is high antioxidant foods and very high anti-inflammatory foods. All right, and it only makes sense. If we're talking about cleansing or detoxifying, we have to have those. Thank you so much, guys. We got 2, one from New Mexico and one from Houston, Texas. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sorry, I don't want to mispronounce the names. I apologize for that, but thank you so much for listening. From New Mexico, it's like neighbors, neighbors down there. I would love to go to both those states. I've been to a lot of states. I'm here in Canada, but I would love to go to New Mexico, to Texas. You hear all about Austin and all that type of stuff when it comes to Texas, but Houston, hear good things about Houston. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I would love to go to Texas, but thank you so much, guys, for letting me know where you're listening from. I appreciate it, and thank you so much for the support and for joining us today. So New Mexico and Houston, Texas added to the list. The list is growing. It's growing fast. Thank you so much, guys. I should get a map out and just start adding pins to where people listen from, because literally it's all over the world. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. So let's continue on with cabbage here, guys. And I hope you're getting good value out of the stream. I hope you guys are getting good value. That's what it's all about. Good value, good information. So let's go back to cabbage, number 4 on the list. These 5, you can mix and match them, all right? So these are my top 5. You can mix and match. I wouldn't say cranberries are number 1 of the 5. I would just say have these 5 if you want to really start, getting into kidney cleansing, improving the health of your kidneys, improving kidney function. If you're dealing with, chronic kidney disease, these are the types of foods you might want to start adding in once you talk to your doctor. But cabbage, again, tons of vitamins, tons of minerals, which is important, but also antioxidants, especially powerful plant compounds. All right, ones that you're not going to find in other cruciferous vegetables, which makes it really, really kind of special for me. That's why I'm adding it to the list. All right, now, again, here's the thing with cabbage, all right? When we talk about cleansing, I told you guys the pattern. High, very, very high in vitamin C and multiple B vitamins. So where garlic was very high in vitamin C and B6, this is also high in vitamin C and B6 and B12 and B3. You got your folate in there, niacin. So cabbage super high, great in B vitamins. I think B vitamins are quite underrated these days, to be honest. So all of these foods very high in vitamin C. Fairly good B vitamins in cranberries and blueberries, but you're going to see way more vitamin C. Vitamin K is also nice for kidney cleansing. Believe it or not, a lot of people, it comes as a surprise to some people, but that's why blueberries are on the list as well. Blueberries is a great source of vitamin K, all right? Vitamin K1. We should make the distinction. K2 is going to be your fermented foods. K1 is your foods like blueberries or cabbage. Ooh, okay, Leslie, Leslie, you're asking great questions. Fermented cabbage, equals cabbage salad. Okay, so let's talk about that. I would go with cabbage in the salad form, all right? Not fermented cabbage, so not sauerkraut. Now, is there anything wrong with sauerkraut? No, absolutely not. 100% no. It's a great source of K2, like I just mentioned, okay? You're right on time here, Leslie, I'm telling you. But I would go with more of the raw cruciferous vegetable, not the fermented cabbage. And the reason why is you're going to get more of the plant compounds. You're going to get a little bit better of the electrolytes, because to ferment, you have to add salt. So it's going to be a little bit higher in sodium, not super high, but it's still not going to be as low in sodium. And then that's going to throw off the, what we want to sort of keep in balance of the potassium and sodium, all right, your 2 electrolytes. Nothing wrong with fermented cabbage, sauerkraut, things like that. It's popular all over the world. Leslie, now I know you're from Germany. I believe you were from Germany, right, Leslie? Now I know you definitely are, because sauerkraut I know is super popular over there. So fermented cabbage is great, but for kidney cleansing, I would go with the cabbage salad. All right, so just your regular raw cabbage, and then you can turn that into a salad. You can put it into a smoothie. You can have it however you want. Kimchi is nice too. Yep, absolutely. Kimchi is nice. Again, you get your fermented foods. The fermented foods are nice, guys. I really, really like the fermented foods because you get K2. And if you've heard me talk on this channel within the last 6 months, you know how important I think K2 is to our overall health, especially with D3. Synergistic effect. Nice synergistic effect between vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. So great question. I would go with the salad form, not the fermented cabbage, if we're talking specifically about kidney cleansing. Great question, Leslie. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all for the engagement. Now, one last thing that I just want to point out about cabbage. All right, low in phosphorus. All right, we know it's good in vitamin C and B vitamins. All right, which is very, very important. Vitamin C, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. The other nice thing though is good source of fiber, which can help the digestive system and allow you to absorb those nutrients a little bit better. All right, which is important because, a lot of the times we don't think of the absorption rate, all right, or nutrient uptake of certain foods. Okay, think about nutrient uptake, guys. It's like when people ask me which vitamins should they take. Should I take a tablet, powder, liquid? I never say the tablet. Even if you're saving money on it, you're only absorbing something like 18% of the tablet. It's just not absorbed well. If you think about like the liquid, it's like 98%. Powder is something like 83%. So, you compare that to a tablet form, might be a little bit cheaper, and I do appreciate that, but you're really not saving money, or you're not getting the benefit out of it because the absorption rate or nutrient uptake of it is so low. Is green or red cabbage best? Good question. Okay, well, if I had to choose, both you can't go wrong with. Both are great. I'm going to give my own kind of personal twist on this answer. Green is 100% fine. I would go with the red, and the reason why I would go with the red is because the red cabbage is going to give you anthocyanins. All right, anthocyanin antioxidants, Melina. So that's a really good question. Both are great. You can't go wrong with both. Choose either. But if I was to choose one or the other myself, just looking at it as a question here, I would go with the red cabbage because you're going to get a little bit more anthocyanin antioxidants, those powerhouse antioxidants, and those powerhouse anti-inflammatories. So don't worry too much. If you only have green, perfect. Go with green cabbage. If you have red cabbage, have red cabbage. If you don't know which one you want for the day and you're feeling like green, go with that one. You can't make a wrong decision, but if I had to choose one, I would go with the red cabbage. Just because you're going to get a little bit of the, it's not that much different in micronutrients or phytonutrients, but in antioxidants, it's a little bit different. You're going to get those anthocyanins. Remember I said like the purple, like the blueberries, that purple kind of pigment that's your anthocyanins in there. So I would choose the red cabbage. But both are great. They both have, both are tremendous for kidney cleansing. Both are really, really good for kidney cleansing. Yeah, that's funny. That's a tough choice, but both are great. And that's a nice thing. If you're eating healthy foods, you're going to get the benefits out of them. And both of them are healthy. So excellent question. So now time for our last one here, guys. So number 1. All right. Or sorry, not number 1, but number 5 on the list. All right. And this is an important one. So hear me out here. Don't go yet because you're going to want to hear this one. All right. And it's on the screen. If someone can guess it, big props to you. It's on the screen here. Quite a bit, to be honest. Thanks. That's what I thought. Great question, Melina. Thank you very much. So this last one is definitely in the picture here. All right. And it's definitely one of my favorite. Well, I'd say I'm not going to give it away quite yet, but it's definitely in the picture here, and it's often, I'll say, the one hint I'll say is it's often overrated as a vegetable. All right, so maybe I'll give you guys a second to think about it. So the last one is, all right, and why is this one in here? One, it has an amazing amount of not only nutrients, but has tons of antioxidants. That food, all right, if you're thinking it, props to you. You got it. It's bell peppers. All right, bell peppers. You see a yellow one there. You see an orange one there. I don't think I see any. Oh, that might be a red one there. It might be a pepper. I'm not sure. Looks like a red one down there in the corner as well. It's been a while since I've really taken a hard look at this list, but bell peppers, guys. All right, trust me on this. When it comes to kidney cleansing, bell peppers are going to be one of your best friends. All right, now why? One, like I said, super high in micronutrients, amazing. We want micronutrients, we want phytonutrients, which bell peppers gives, but it's low in potassium. We can still regulate our electrolytes, okay? Because remember, two electrolytes, sodium and potassium. So we want to make sure that potassium isn't off the charts. And unlike many other vegetables, so some cruciferous vegetables, other vegetables out there, maybe some of your favorites, they usually tend to be a little bit higher in things like potassium or even phosphorus. Very micronutrient dense, like broccoli, high in everything. All right, bell peppers high in everything, but good in potassium, good levels of potassium, and good levels of phosphorus. Because remember, if you missed it a little bit earlier, if you do have a damaged kidney or your kidneys are in need of cleansing and not functioning properly, it's very hard for them to flush out phosphorus, and that can damage the kidneys even further. So one, love it because it has tremendous amount of micronutrients. Love that it's low in potassium, unlike other very nutrient dense vegetables. But why is bell peppers on this list? The main reason why, and maybe you guys know this, maybe you don't, but a lot of people don't. I always ask people, what do you think is the food that has the most vitamin C pound for pound in it? And people, say things like citrus fruits. What else will they say? I hear a lot of citrus fruits. Sometimes I'll hear broccoli, and it's true. It does have a lot of vitamin C. But bell peppers, the brightly colored bell peppers, are loaded with powerful vitamin C, our antioxidant. Pound for pound, I think I'm like 99.9% sure bell peppers are your best choice for vitamin C. Now, it doesn't mean the other ones aren't good, but you're going to get the most from bell peppers. Super high in vitamin C. I think it was something like, I wrote down here, just one small bell pepper, all right, not even 100 grams, so very, very small. That's not, I think it was something like just around 70 grams. That's not a lot of bell pepper, guys. All right, that's going to give you about 115% of your daily recommended value of vitamin C. So you have about 70 grams of bell peppers. Boom, you just hit your daily intake of vitamin C. That's amazing. All right, now the other thing is it has not only vitamin C, but it has other important antioxidants as well. Plant compounds, yes. All right, amazing. But the big one here, guys, vitamin C and vitamin A. All right, now why is vitamin A important? Vitamin A is important, guys, because it helps with our immune system. Same with vitamin C, but vitamin A is very, very important for our immune system. All right, and if you have kidney disease or your kidneys aren't working properly, your immune system is probably going to be compromised to some degree. All right, so it's nice that we can get vitamin A, which bell peppers are loaded with. All right, bell peppers are loaded with vitamin A. I don't know the exact recommended daily value percentage, but I know it's very, very high. It's very similar to vitamin C. So the fact that we can get that immune function, that immune system function boost, all right, is also going to be helpful for our kidneys, also helpful for people who are already compromised with kidney disease, all right, can help reverse that, all right, and it's just going to be important for kidney function all around. So I love bell peppers. That would be number 5 on my list. So what are they, guys? If you're just coming in, if you can remember them: cranberries, blueberries, garlic. Number 4, if you can remember that, cabbage. And as we talked about here on the stream, green or red. Either or is fine. If I had to choose one, I'd go red, but either's fine. And then the last one is going to be bell peppers. Super high. All of these foods, as you'll know, we're cleansing the kidneys. We already talked at the beginning why it's so important. The bodily functions that and processes that the kidney is just responsible for. The kidneys are responsible for. Super important. Right? These are going to be your top cleansers. All right, detoxers. All right, anti-inflammatories. All right, antioxidants. So it's pretty crazy to me to think that worldwide now we're at a point where just over 10% of individuals have chronic kidney disease. I mean, I guess maybe it shouldn't surprise me too much. We see the numbers go up and up on all of these diseases, which is very unfortunate and very sad. And that's why, again, I'd like to do these streams, because getting that information out there is, information is power. It really is. And, not a lot of people, the thing is, when it comes to kidneys and like liver health, when it comes to those like two organs, people don't necessarily think about that. Everyone thinks about heart. Everyone thinks about heart because, blood pressure, heart disease, you can get it tested really easily. You can buy your own tester at home. Everyone thinks about heart, but they don't think about other important organs like the kidneys, like your liver, like your gallbladder. That's why I want to get this information about kidneys out there to you guys as best I can and just narrow it down to 5 best foods. All right, if we have to choose the best, all right, I would call those the best. There's other good ones out there, like olive oil would be another good one. Onions, of course, just off the top of my head, onions would be a good one, very similar to garlic. All right, it's in the same family. There's some other good ones. We mentioned cauliflower. I think we've mentioned enough. I don't want to overdo it with you guys, but we mentioned cauliflower a little bit with cruciferous vegetables and things of that nature. Sometimes you'll get, in turmeric. All right, very good because curcumin is very good. But I would say that those are the best. You're getting the best bang for your buck with these 5. All right, but there is other good ones out there. Red bell peppers are the most nutrient dense and also contain lycopene. Yes, red bell peppers. Exactly. The red bell peppers are the highest in vitamin C and also do contain lycopene. Absolutely. Lycopene is great too. You can also get good lycopene from tomatoes and watermelon. Watermelon being one of the best as well. And that's a powerful antioxidant, Melina, so thank you for pointing that out. And that's only going to help with kidney cleansing. And that's why red bell peppers, that's why I said on the last one, don't go anywhere, because this last one, you guys are going to want to hear. Bell peppers, red bell peppers, all right? Which either ones they are, red bell peppers have that lycopene. Though that's the top. That's where we want to be. 40 thumbs up, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I had a lot of fun on the stream. It flew by. I can't believe we're already over an hour. Again, big shout out to the Fit Team members, again, who I know are in chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. And thank you so much to the super chatters. Again, those are the 2 ways to give back to the channel. If you value the information that's given, you can join as a Fit Team member where you get a free ebook, and you can also give through the super chat function. But of course, the thumbs up, the comments, that also helps as well. So guys, that was really, really good. Great discussion. 41 thumbs up. We went an hour strong. I can't believe we went over an hour. It just flew by. Yeah, like I said, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And the more knowledge that we get, the better decisions we can make. You don't have to add all of these foods. That's the other thing I want to point out, guys. Don't run out there and buy all 5 foods now thinking that you have to have all these for a healthy kidney. Take it slow. You be smart with it. Stay away from unhealthy foods like sugar, super high sodium, trans fats, processed foods, those types of foods. Stay away from those, because if you're having those, you can have all the cranberries in the world. Not going to help your kidneys, unfortunately. If you're drinking soda or pop or high alcohol intake, unfortunately, again, the cranberries are not going to help. So we need to have balance. Let's stay consistent. You guys did. Thank you so much, guys, for the great engagement today. Really appreciated having you in there. A lot of new faces. I have to say, a lot of new faces. Thank you for all the new individuals who came in today. I appreciate you. A lot of recognizable faces for sure as well. I don't forget. I'll always remember the names. So I might sometimes forget the place, but the name I definitely remember. So I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Trying to Love and eat everything on this list. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much, Shayna. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Shayna, thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed the list. Glad that you're eating everything on the list. That's amazing. I wanted to make a list where it was really, really good for our kidneys, the top foods, but ones that were enjoyable for people. Like garlic might not be the most enjoyable for some people, but blueberries tends to be something that most people enjoy. Bell peppers seems to be something that most people enjoy. So that's great. Thanks, Shane. I appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much. We'll be back, of course, next time. It's going to be either Wednesday or Saturday or both. I want to keep trying to stick to these times, trying to get videos up there, but I like the live streams right now. Either way, it's going to be like a Wednesday, Saturday type thing. This seems like the Saturday or the Sunday is better because people can get on. Like if I go on live at like 12 noon on a Wednesday, most people can't really come on live and ask their questions, whereas on the weekend, it seems like we have a little more flexibility with that. So I'm going to keep that in mind, guys. Melina, thank you so much for your time and info. Well, my pleasure. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for your engagement. My pleasure. Of course, I hope you enjoyed the info. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for liking the stream. I appreciate that. Let's continue to do our best. Let's live our healthiest life, our happiest life. A healthy life is a happy life, and vice versa. So let's continue out there, do our best, try our best. Let's not put too much pressure on ourselves. If you're trying to lose weight, feel free to email me. Link is going to be, if you can't find my email, just click on any of my videos. It's out there. foodsforhealth1@gmail.com. We can talk about it. Worked with individuals in the past with some great results here live on the channel. So if you're interested in that, shoot me an email. We can discuss. My face is usually on here. I didn't have it this morning. Couldn't really get the camera. I think it's time for a new upgrade on the camera. I won't lie. It's definitely time for a new upgrade. But face is usually on. Face will be on next time, as always. Leslie, thank you so much. Hope everyone has a great Sunday. Let's, like I said, continue to do our best, be our best, and we'll keep hitting our goals, guys. So, again, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you all. Keep going. Let's see if we can make 2023 the best year that we can. All right, guys, take care. Enjoy your day. And